More L Books presents
O.C.M. Organized confusion of mind.
stories written by O.C.M. Crazy Thoughts 11, Part 3.
This is my love letter to you. I just want to say, I'm so glad to have you in my life. I'm so glad that you're here. So glad. So glad.
One year ago. Little Sam asked of her mother in a whining, aggressive tone.
I'm cooking now, darling.
Margaret Eatin replied to her daughter as Parker Eatin entered the kitchen. His smile had vanished from sight long ago as things had become worse. The house he had purchased for his family to live a good life in no longer had good in it. Years of hard work just to keep food on the table, to keep the stomachs filled like their lives. It was hard to look at his family not having. He felt so low. He felt less than a man.
You ain't no man.
His value and his perception was no greater than the speck of lint beneath the bug's asshole.
Outside, he had affected inside regardless of his preparation. He was not in control of his life and contemplated if he had ever had control. He had lost a considerable amount of weight and gained an increasing pain. Pains of hunger, pains of stress, but mostly, importantly, pains in the heart. He hated to see his family suffer. He prayed that this would be over soon. He just had to have faith. Had to be like Abraham, Jeremiah, and Job. As he sits down at the dinner table, he stares at his plate with the same disappointment he has done every single day. Vegetable and grains again. He literally killed for a thick steak. His jaw tightens with frustration, and he thinks of Job once more. He suffered because he was amongst the best, not because he was of the worst. And he thought of faith because he had to have it. Hebrew chapter 11 verse 17. He was being tested like Abraham was being tested. Genesis chapter 22 verse 1. It happened after these things that God tested Abraham and said to him, Abraham, Abraham. He said, here I am. Psalms 142, chapter 1 through chapter 2. With my voice I cry out to the Lord. With my voice I plead for mercy to the Lord. I pour out my complaint before him. I tell my trouble before him.
This shit again?
He finds himself blurting this out to his lovely wife of 10 years.
Don't use that language in this house, and especially in front of our baby.
Margaret Eatin barks to her loving husband, who's lost his mind.
Woman, leave me alone!
He yells back to her, and for a brief moment, there's a heated argument between Ma and Pa. This argument will be interrupted by the sound of a plate crashing on the wall. And now, Ma and Pa cease their bickering and give full attention to their lovely monster.
I
4-year-old screams. She kicks her feet wildly in her chair, as if she is possessed, spitting and pulling the tablecloth from the table where the little meal they had is now laid sprawled on the floor. The question rattles both in Ma and Pa's head.
I'm trying, but I'm dying without you. Crying without my food. I need you. Nothing will shine through. Maybe there's something in this Bible that will give me a little hope. Without you, I feel broke from head to toe. Just gotta let you know.
Present day.
Breaking news.
This is Ty Harley, reporting for Eyewitness Shit, flying above the Fordham district, where the streets are in pandemonium. As people search for food, many are forced to scavenge, to steal, and even kill for nothing but scraps.
Turn that shit off!
The sailor tongue is used frequently now in this house, once of love and respect. Hunger has turned the soft to hard, the clear into confusion. Pa had only television to help him escape his reality. Ma called out to him to do, but he couldn't do. He tuned out his hunger, tuned out his wife and child, just to keep his sanity. It was hard to keep it together when he had a 5-year-old daughter always ranting about her hunger pains. The little girl jumped up and down, throwing pots and pans around frantically.
Stop that now!
Ma demands little good eating, who will continue to protest until her demands are met. She screams at the top of her lungs in an awful high-pitched tone. The pains of hunger were driving her insane.
Can't you calm her down?
Pa good eating now yelled to Ma good eating.
I'm trying, but she won't fucking stop. Asshole, she wants me.
Ma good eating's tongue sliced into the fabric of thin flesh, piercing his soul with extreme malice. Pa sits quietly in his frustration as his daughter continues to scream.
Then get her some meat so she can shut the hell up and give me some peace.
Pa Eatin growled. Ma Eatin just stared into the eyes of the idiotic man who was useless to her and her child. In fact, he was useless to himself. Had he heard what he had just requested from her? She pondered at his stare as he demanded from her the impossible.
We don't have any! Nobody does!
She yells back to her husband. Sam Eatin yelled and ran over to Ma Eatin and bites her on her arm deeply. Every moment of the day, Ma Eatin prayed for her family's health and safety, prayed for her friends, prayed for strangers, but most of all prayed for patience. The hunger pains were working on her brain now. She knew that she had to be that strong one, the tough thread that kept this family together.
Had to fight for years, broken down to tears. Had to face my fears, still I persevere. Broken down the curse, I've been through the worst. No money, no work, dragged through the dirt. My spirit broken, my will gets weak. Some people hope I'm killed in these streets. Lied on, talked about, kicked down, still I walk it out. Against all odds, I make it through. You're my strength, that's why I'm praising you. You're gonna love me. He's gonna love me.
The weakness was overtaking her, and the voices within her head called out for satisfaction. It was under these circumstances that those of gentle nature are converted to violent beings. Temporary insanity was a plea lawyers have used in defense in numerous trials to get their clients off of charges of murder and other felonies. The mind is a fragile object and can revert to its primal setting if extreme pressures is applied. Control is easy to lose when everything about you is falling apart. The world is insane, and yet there is not forgiveness for moments of insanity from those of perfection. Her fist flies through the air with a preciseness that would be admired by a professional fighter. Never has she raised her hand to cause harm to anyone. She was a God-fearing woman. What she unleashed now was power beyond even her own comprehension. She was Ma Eatin, the Southern Belle, the sweet girl, the closest thing to an angel, a loving wife and a loving mother. But as her fist flew towards her poor little daughter, she was none of these things. Connection caused automatic destruction as Sam Eatin's face absorbed pain, confusion, and frustration. Her little head spun from the force like a large child's breath would spin a pinwheel. The usual response from Ma Eatin was to hug her daughter and tell her she was wrong, but mommy loves you. This wasn't what she had done. Pa Eatin stood flabbergasted at his wife's actions. He assumed the hunger was making him hallucinate. There was no way his wife could be standing over their daughter, punching her wrist. All the pent-up rage was released into this world of pretend, and she hated the lies that she constantly had to tell to her daughter to keep her quiet. She breathes heavily. Her eyes are lost. Her body goes limp, and she is numb. Pa Eatin stares at his beloved wife as she returns to the state of struggle and hunger. He wants to close his eyes, return to his television, where he can escape this reality. It is love that will not allow him to hide in a dimension of lies. His steps were slow but steady as he passed the woman he knew not now. The blood is abundant. So much blood. He ignores it all. He goes to his Sam. She needed him, and he wasn't there for her. He wasn't strong enough. Cradling his precious daughter in his arms, he looks into the still pools, hoping they will come alive again.
Please come back to me.
He begins to weep heavily at his greatest loss. Ma Eatin crawls over to her husband and child, and she too begins to weep with sorrow and regret. Ma Eatin reaches for her daughter. She now fights her husband for the possession that he refuses.
No!
Please. Give it to me.
Ma Eatin pleads hysterically to her husband.
I'm sorry. Please. Let me have her. Please.
Ma Eatin begs her husband, who hears his wife beyond a deep sorrow.
He's down there.
He's down. He sees her once again. The woman he's fell in love with a long time ago. And even in this moment, he loves her. It is only right to give her what was hers, for her pain must be as crucial as his. Slowly, he passes Sam Eatin to Ma Eatin, who gently receives the child. She weeps uncontrollably, as a child would suffer from loss. Pa Eatin joins his family, placing his arm around Ma Eatin as they mourn the loss of their precious daughter. Time was lost in anguish, for pain made all things irrelevant in the world. If possible, they would have stayed there on that kitchen floor until it was their time to perish. But that insatiable hunger awoke them. Ma Good Eatin kisses her daughter's soft cheek, that is covered with thick, warm blood. She kisses her again and again. The sadness lies heavy in her heart. Yet there is pleasure in a stomach that lightens the hunger within. You are so good. The nutrient of life, a taste of relief of desire, a freedom beyond suffering. And once again, Ma Good Eatin disappears as she bites deeply into the tender cheek of Sam Good Eatin.
Sam Good Eatin.
Back to myself. She was so beautiful. My little girl. My perfect piece of sunshine. In this other washed out world. She's all gone now. All done. My little Sam. We call her Sam. For short. Her real name was Samantha. Samantha Good Eatin. She was so full of life. So jolly. Little pro woman, I call her. But say, dog, you will always be my baby. Once, I was a proud father, and our family was a happy one. But that seems so long ago. The times of greed have taken her away from me, from us. I blame myself for Sam's death, and until the day I die, I'll carry that burden. Now she's gone. She will always be remembered as long as I live. For she will always be a part of me. Always in me. Tears seem to slowly erase her image of the last photograph I have of her. And I wonder if I lose a bit of her as the days go by. I wonder, do I lose a bit of me each day without her? Have I lost it already? Insane in the membrane, insane from the pain. These humble pains, they return quickly. Never satisfied with a great deed done for its pleasure. Every bit O.C.M, we have eaten. I mean, every bit of I now glance at my good eating for good eating, and I sleep not as I catch her eyes looking at me for good eating, good eating, good eating.
Love or hunger? What would be first?